What's poppin', everybody? It's your main man Doda, and this time for episode 4 of Inside Deez Mindz, I am joined by the man who made some bangers left, right, and center on CKDJ 1079 out of his new music. And right now he just released his album called Sad Boy. I'm here with Dangerous.
What's up, bro? You caught me in the middle of a sip.
Hey, my bad, man, but come on. So pretty much, you're like the students in the radio broadcasting program.
I am.
And not only that, you're also a low-key Ottawa rapper. And let's just say you made some heat over the course of almost 1 year now. So it's come on, man.
Yeah, I've been at it for about 2. I started when I was in grade 12. So that would have been 2016. And here I am.
All right. So, just for the audience to know, how did you manage to, think of the name Dangerous?
It's actually a nickname that started with my older brother when he was in high school. So my last name is Ainger, A-I-N-G-E-R. So one nickname I always had in middle school and high school was Ainger.
Yeah.
So I kind of just took that and turned it into Dangerous. So that's anybody who doesn't really understand the nickname will look at the way I spell it,
Yeah.
and just assume that I'm some idiot that doesn't know how to spell.
Yeah, Toby's roasting you down in the comments or stuff like that on YouTube or Spotify,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But so what can you tell not only me but the listeners about your album Sad Boy?
It's about a year of work that I put into it. I bounced around with a few other album names, but Sad Boy is ultimately what I came down to, mainly because through a lot of the writing that I did on this album,
Yeah.
I was in a pretty dark place. I was going through a lot of depression, anxiety, and lots of stuff like that. So I wanted to make an album that would really relate to people like that. I didn't want to make it 100%
Too dark?
too dark, but I wanted to start it off dark and then let it pick up, and then in the end kind of wrap up the whole theme of the album.
All right, so I'm so pretty much some of our classmates in the station managed to listen to quite a bit of your songs Tonight, Darkness, and Get Off. What can you at least tell us? What are the significant meaning behind each of those songs?
I mean, Tonight, the message kind of shows through the lyrics. It's pretty much the story of what happens when you fall for a girl and then realize after some time you've gotten attached, but they don't feel the same. So you go through the feelings of anger, hate, you're upset, but then in the end you kind of accept it. And so I've gone through similar situations and I've been mad about it, but I realize at the end that it really builds me as a person.
All right, makes sense since pretty much every guy may have gone through that, but
Every person.
yeah, every person though, but just the way they react differently though. It's whether it's mad, sad, happy or stuff like that. But what can you also tell me about the other 2 songs as well?
Darkness, again, is another kind of serious song. I wrote that in more of a dark place. It's the theme of that is essentially it's for people who don't know where they are in life. I'm only 20 years old, so I haven't really figured out exactly what I'm doing with my life. I don't know where I'm going to go, if I'm successful with this, if I'm successful with school. So I think it's a really easy song to relate to in terms of the fact that people, almost everyone around this age kind of is a little clueless. They're walking down a road trying to figure out where they're going.
Yeah.
And Get Off is, I just wrote it for fun. I got the beat. It was a banger. And and it's kind of just a song for anyone that's a clout chaser.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been there when I started rapping, but essentially you got the people who are on SoundCloud with 20 followers, no songs, and they message you expecting a feature.
Oh my, that's actually not gonna lie. Like that's a bit of like a cringe-worthy moment. It's like,
Yeah.
it was like, oh hey, is what if I do like a feature? It's like, nope. It was, yeah, sure, but it's like, oh yeah, that's gonna be like 20 grand. So like,
Yeah. Well, there's that too. At this point, I'm not looking for money. I have fun doing what I do. At the end of the day, like if I tell someone I want to work with them, it's because I like them as a person. I like their music,
yeah,
and
it's
I just want to make good music. I don't care if the followers come, if the numbers come, if the money comes. At the end of the day, it's all about music.
yeah, it's all about like how the person like rubs off the vibe to you, like whether they're like a pretty cool person or if they're not, then just like get the heck out of there.
Exactly. Like, I mean, I'll sometimes I'll hit people up and just say, hey, let's make some music, but I don't want it to just be, okay, let's, send me a beat, I'll do something, I'll give it to you, and then we're done.
Yeah,
It's like, let's start brainstorming,
yeah,
let's figure out each other's vibe, and sometimes in the end it doesn't turn into a song, but if I can at least build connections and friends in the industry.
yeah. That's pretty. That's pretty street facts right there. And also, like a couple days ago, I managed to like listen to pretty much your remix of the song Panda.
Yeah, so Panda was actually one of the first songs I remixed when I started
Becoming Dangerous.
becoming dangerous. I was like just starting grade 12,
Yeah,
and Panda had just come out. I saw people remixing it and stuff, and I decided one day, I was like, yo, let's see what I can do. It was the most basic ass stuff I'd ever done.
yeah,
And the funny thing is, like, I didn't know what I was doing, so everything I did, I typed the word panda
yeah.
into Rhyme Zone
Oh man.
and basically just went with that.
Yeah, like funny thing was, like not if you want to like know like where you can find his remix, it's SoundCloud.com/danger. And funny thing is, let's just say your boy right here managed to make a bit of a cameo in the song. So,
Yeah.
but like it's just that when I listen to it, you end up putting in like a reference to Fortnite.
Yeah.
The fact that like I remember like we actually end up recording that one like maybe like probably like the last month or like the second last month of school.
Yeah, and it was in this studio.
Yeah, like even now I mean that was pretty funny though, the fact that we managed to like hit up some of our classmates and just ending up yelling out some Fortnite locations like Salty Springs, Dusty Depot, and
If Pat was here, I'd get him to yell Tomato Town again. But
oh yeah, but he
Um,
left.
funny thing about that is I've only played Fortnite maybe 4 times.
Yeah.
I suck at it.
Oh man,
I was just doing it for the meme.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, at least you're the one who actually played Fortnite, not like myself, where I never have the enough time to play with while like doing this show and having work at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but like honestly, what I liked about it is the fact that it was like I mean, even though like you're using the Panda like track, it was actually pretty creative, like lyrical wise. The fact that it's like up like I wouldn't say it's like scattered, but it's like it flows so well with what's going on, especially with the like when it, like stopped and it's like with the whole Fortnite is like it's like where we're dropping it's like whatever like locations we just yelled out. It's like that was actually pretty fun, and also, well, like I managed to listen to like everybody else, Young Fabio,
Yeah.
and what can you like tell me about that track?
Again, that's one of those tracks that I just did it for fun. My buddy Pat, who's in the program with us, I was with him in his dorm that night, and he was just going through some beats, and I was listening, getting a vibe, and then the beat for Young Fabio popped up.
Yeah.
And within maybe 5 minutes, I had the hook written. And I'd say any time I write a song, if I have a good hook written within the first 10 or 15 minutes of me listening to the beat,
Yeah.
it's like, to me, it's going to be a good song. I think it all starts with a solid hook.
Yeah, like even though I'm no musician myself, but I always find it important. It's like always to have like think of a hook first, because it's like parents like the hook is like the most memorable part about the song. And,
Exactly.
like, it's a lot better to like write it down, because like if you forget about it, then like you are like gonna mess up like later on. It's
No,
like,
I never use paper to write down because I know for sure that I'll lose it or destroy it. So I always keep it on my phone.
yeah, true.
'Cause the only thing that could happen is I get hacked and someone steals all my lyrics and goes and gets famous, you know?
Yeah, pretty much like every SoundCloud rapper ever, but like no hate, no hate. But like what I liked about that song is even though it's all like rubs off that like the beginning and maybe leading to the end, well not end but like the middle, rubs off that more of like a city vibe, like whether it's like downtown or like some sort of warehouse scene, if like someone decides to like a music video out of it, which I mean it should have like a music video, so it's like jeez.
I'd love to make a music video. I'm not sure for which song yet. I got a few ideas that I'm looking at. I just got to make sure that I plan it out. I don't want to be one of those guys that just out of nowhere decides I'm going to pull out my phone and start recording. I want it to be professional.
Yeah, just at least bring like a couple friends and at least scout some locations, like which part of like the music video should fit, like
Exactly.
But like, so I mentioned like look at like earlier like today I mentioned like look at your Insta story, and I meant to read it as like you're dropping some heat like later on, or like what?
What exactly did I say? I'm not gonna lie. I posted that while I was out drinking, so it was a little spontaneous.
Let's see, that must have been lit.
Oh yeah. What exactly? I said, don't act like I'm stopping just because I dropped an album. Time to double up. And I'll just let you interpret that however you want.
So even though you're like a little tipsy on the drunk side, like pretty much, like I mean, I actually can't wait for you to like drop like another album. The fact that I heard like parts of like some of like your newer songs, but mostly the ones I play at the station, and very like some fire stuff.
Thanks, bro.
The fact that like those are the kind of songs that people can actually relate to, like in their personal lives, or maybe it's like their work life, stuff like that, especially if we're going through stuff. And I mean, it's pretty insane though, the fact that you're just like 20 years old, been making an album for like almost a year or two, became like a rapper with like end up having so many features like tonight with Wisteria.
Yep.
And have you ever thought of having more features for your future songs, or what?
I definitely want to. One of my favorite things to do in music is collaborating, but it's really just, again, as I said, it's about building the relationships, and you know, I'm talking to people about possible collabs, but at this point, I really just want to make whatever music I can. If someone that I've been talking to comes around and says, "Hey, let's make a song," I'm 100% down, but I'm on my own groove right now.
All right, so like, who are like the people who are coming up to in your head right now? Like, who do you think you should collaborate in future songs?
Well, boy, that's a good question. I'm trying to think. I don't want to like single out one guy or leave anyone out. Obviously, I want to keep it in Ottawa.
Yeah.
I really think the city's on the rise.
Yeah, like
we have a like there's
there has been some potential of like future Ottawa like singers, rappers, stuff like that.
Oh, big time. Speaking of like singers and rappers, one that comes to mind, who's both, is Roland Prince.
Oh,
you had him on your first episode, eh?
Yeah, if you can like find that on my SoundCloud and my YouTube channel. My SoundCloud is soundcloud.com/Dawood and youtube.com/MrLegaman2007. And funny thing is during like one of my segments, I pretty much featured your song for Young Fabio,
right?
And I asked him, have you ever thought of collaborating with you? And he's like, yeah, for sure. But like, if you want to like, for you listeners, I'm going to put in like a flashback like right now.
Okay.
So the first song is from like our one, like someone who's in the radio program. His name is Nick Ainger, or
Okay.
goes by the name Dangerous.
Yeah, he's recorded at my studio.
Yeah. Okay. So pretty much he actually like thought about like collaborating with you, like any future song, stuff like that. And honestly, like, since he's like going on Blues Fest like in a couple of days, like, have you ever thought of performing on the stage that LeBronton Flats or what?
Oh, I'd love to. I didn't apply last year for it. I definitely plan to apply to perform next year.
Yeah.
I really just wanted to be prepared music-wise.
Yeah.
And get a few performances under my belt, because at this point I've only performed a couple times, but I got a few things potentially coming up. So I think once my stage presence is there, I'll be able to kill it. My thing is I don't want to go there and have that be one of my first performances and potentially
like embarrass yourself.
not embarrass myself, but I want to be prepared.
Yeah.
That's one of my things. I might be a little over prepared sometimes, but I want to go into things feeling 100% ready.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't think I was ready for Blues Fest at the time that applications were going in before. But no, like, that's huge. Few big guys from Ottawa performing there. Maurice Moore performed there last year. I saw him. Unfortunately, I'm not going this year. I didn't really feel like shelling out the money.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting expensive.
Oh,
Plus, I'm working all the time, so I don't even know if I could get the hours off. But, I mean, two big names that I really wanted to see this year in Ottawa was Roland Prince, obviously, and Black Irish as well.
Huh.
He's another dude from Ottawa. I've been talking to him a little bit, but
Not as much.
no. Well, I mean, either like Roland Prince. I mean, we don't talk as much either as I'd like to, but still, we hit each other up sometimes. I hit him up a couple days ago, just telling him like, "Hey, you're like big time inspiration. Keep doing what you're doing," and that's part of what I think about keeping the city together.
Is trying to like find that
Just
specific sound of like what Ottawa is about.
Yeah, and just supporting each other. I think that's a big thing that's happening now, is that a lot of the artists are going to come together and kind of support each other rather than be somewhat of a clique.
Yeah.
Doesn't even matter if we're going around constantly collabing. I think it's just all about making sure we have each other's backs.
Yeah, and speaking of like the Ottawa sound, like what kind of sound would you like Ottawa to have in particular?
It's a tough question. I guess I'm a big sucker for lots of different sounds.
Yeah.
I'd say rather than the city having one sound, we should try to have artists who represent different sounds.
Yeah, like kind of like how.
So, in a way, like, you want to have some rappers who are just rappers, who, you know, they spit out dope lyrics and mainly stick to just rapping, and then there's the guys like Roland Prince who are R&B / rap.
Yeah.
You got Maurice Moore, who's out in LA now, but he's got a really good R&B voice. So I think,
especially with the song "C'est la vie."
oh, exactly.
Rap.
So yeah, I really don't think it's about Ottawa having one sound. I think it's about Ottawa taking advantage of all the sounds that we have.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, Canada's like the whole like the most diverse like country like in the world, and the fact that many people from around the world are coming in, and then from like different ethnicity, different nationalities. stuff
Exactly.
Like that. So it's like it's something that I want Ottawa to have as well. The fact that we need like everybody who is like creative in their own way, like coming in, whether it's like they want to like make music, like combining rap with like some cultural influenced music from their respective home countries, and the fact that they aren't afraid of like who they are as a person, and they want to like influence people in a good way into actually at least give out the positive vibes of like what they're about.
Exactly. And as you were saying about Canada being super diverse, I completely agree. And I think the way I see music is that every genre is just a combination of different genres.
Yeah.
For example, one guy that I've been listening to recently, his name's Young Tory.
Yeah.
He's either from Ottawa or Toronto. He's Rastafarian.
Ooh.
So he
Got that.
he has like, you can't really tell in his voice when he sings, but he has like that kind of like
Yeah.
Rasta vibe.
the
mixed with
Jamaican dialect.
mixed with like a pop, rap, R&B kind of style.
Yeah.
So I'd say if there's anyone you want to check out right now in terms of singers and rappers, he's one of the guys.
All right. And so pretty much we make it to like this point of like the show where I do this segment called Production Junction.
Okay.
So pretty much what it is, I picked out some songs or like some instrumental songs from like whether it's like television shows, music videos, and pretty much like I would have the guests at least give their opinion, something they think about, like whether it's like the good stuff and the bad stuff about it. So
I'm looking at production,
like
lyrics.
yeah, production, lyrics, and what's your opinion, like whether you want to like think about making a cover or like make your own lyrics for like this well-known songs.
Okay.
So the first two songs I picked out was from the Netflix show Luke Cage.
Okay.
It's just that the two songs are the intro and the outro. So what I want to do is like have you like critique like the production, like just so you know that it doesn't have any lyrics, just it's the instrumental.
It's just an instrumental. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so this is the first song from Luke Cage. So let's get started. So like that was the intro for Luke Cage. What are
Okay.
your thoughts about it, like the production side to it?
I like the. To me, it gives off like a detective kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I imagine like some sort of not old school detective, but something more current. Can you play it real quick one more time?
Yeah.
Something that really stands out to me in that is the drums.
Yeah.
I'm getting a big time, either like a New York or Chicago kind of vibe, like old school.
Yeah, the fact that the show is mostly revolving in Harlem, so
Okay.
because like pretty much I saw like both seasons of the show, and it's like really good the fact that they have like well-known like music artists in the series, especially like they have like from like Method Man and some of like the well-known artists. Like I don't want to like spoil it too much for like the listeners who haven't seen like all of it, like but I'm not saying like where like Method Man is, but like
Okay.
let's say he was in the show, and so have you ever think of like at least making the lyrics for like this song if you had the opportunity to do so?
I don't know if it would be my place to do.
Yeah.
Mainly, it's just not really my kind of style of beat that I'd usually write to.
Yeah.
I'd be down to give it a shot, but I think one artist I could see killing that would be Kendrick.
All right, I can
Those quick drums seem like he could flow to that.
Yeah, the fact that he managed to like make the help out with the whole Black Panther
Exactly.
album. So, and this is the outro to the show. So.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really mess with that.
I can see why.
The synths to me are a little weird,
Yeah.
and I'm not really like a slow drum kind of guy.
Yeah.
I like to have my drums like they were in the
You open it.
in the intro.
Yeah.
The way that they're like quick and rolling, and this one is kind of just like,
Like
it's
slow,
a snail's pace. I guess the outro, you don't really need the exciting music,
Yeah.
but
Like-
I could have done without whatever that was.
All right. It's just that like this, both the theme, the opening and the outro is made by Adrian Young, Ali Shaheed Muhammad, and Miguel Atwood. And honestly, like not gonna lie, they make some pretty good stuff. And so the final song I'll be playing is from Tyler the Creator with his song 911 from his album Flower Boy.
Okay.
Oh, Yeah. My thirst levels are infinity and beyond. Sipping on that lemonade, I need a Beyonce. Can't see straight, these shades of Celine Dion. Sucks, you can't gas me up. Shout out to Elon Musk.
So like, what's your like your thoughts about it from like production, lyrics?
You want to play that again? I'm actually gonna pull up the lyrics myself.
On that lemonade, yeah. My thirst levels are infinity and beyond. Sipping on that lemonade, I need a Beyonce. Can't see straight, these shades of Celine Dion. Sucks, you can't gas me up. Shout out to Elon Musk.
So, first of all, like I was mainly listening to the lyrics,
Yeah.
and the thing I like is he kind of does what Eminem did.
Yeah.
When like for his whole career, he would take words that didn't rhyme, but then he'd structure them differently. Let me see if I can find where this is in the song. He says,
Like the last.
he rhymes. Where is this?
Like I can like go.
Oh, here we. Yeah. Okay. So he says, "My thirst levels are infinity and beyond, sipping on that lemonade." So that's kind of a thing Eminem would do. He would rhyme orange with door hinge, or he'd even straight up just take words and say them completely differently from how they actually need to sound.
Yeah, like I actually saw that video.
It was on Genius.
Yeah, it was like on. Really?
I think so.
I think it was. I don't think it was on Genius, but like I did see like a video where he would like at least rhyme like orange and door hinge stuff like that. It's like it's all about like how he actually like words out the word for like his song, and honestly like that was actually pretty cool though. Like it's all about like how you like word it instead of like how you actually present it in a way. So
Also, I think it's good that he used it for just one little bit.
Yeah.
I think if you keep trying to use it throughout the song, you're just going to sound lazy.
yeah,
Like, because it's creative to do it one time to change up words in your own way.
yeah,
But it gets to a point where it might seem like a bit of a cheat.
yeah. Yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's not just that like the artists like we're all about like trying not to like make it sound lazy, just for once like get hard with like how they present it.
Like, but again, there is good music that is lazy.
Yeah,
Like there's artists who are intentionally lazy with their writing, but it's still
like the
good.
way they actually like put it out was make it sound like a complete like absolute fire track.
Yeah, like you got artists, especially now, like Lil Pump.
Yeah,
A lot of the littles, like Lil Pump, Lil Yachty, Lil
Zans.
Cheesecake.
Or like
But yeah, like sometimes they have tracks where they're just going off on like lyrically and they're actually writing well, but their main purpose, at least in my opinion, is to make club hits.
yeah,
And nobody's really listening to the words in a club hit. Like one of my friends, if I try to show him a dope song, he might not like it because he really only looks at the beat.
yeah.
He doesn't care what they're saying.
Facts. And also, this is like we managed to like make it to like the end of this episode. Why don't you just make a quick plug about like what's going on, and you also plug in your social medias as well.
Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram at Dangerous Music. That's DAINGEROUS. Check me out on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/danger again with eyes. And check me on Spotify. Just look me up. You should find it. Things coming up. What do I got? I'm performing middle of this month. I think it's July 18th. I'll be opening for Remaclara at her album release party. I think I'm doing a 5-song set. That's at Cafe Dekcuf, so roll through. It's gonna be $10 at the door. Other than that, just stay posted for new music.
All right, so don't worry. Like I'm gonna like put the all of the social medias and the events down below in the description on both my SoundCloud, which is soundcloud.com/DaoudaDoumbia, and also on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/MrLegoMan2007. And also, I eventually take down my Podbean account because having to upload the episode 3 times is a little bit of a heartfelt, a little bit hard and tiring. So those are the only two links that I'll be putting in from now on. So, and as always, see you later.